Hey everyone, and welcome once again to the Sense of Things. And we are here to have a fun time talking to you a little bit about business, talking to you about the markets, and talking to you a little bit about what's going on. This episode today, I want to start us off and tell you a little bit about some fun business names, best business names I could find today. And of course, we just saw the end of the hurricane and Hurricane Milton that just burst across Florida. Those folks are getting through this right now. They've just been through Helene a couple weeks ago. But what I wanted to do, of course, all these times that we see these type of things, of course, everybody's agenda comes out, and I wanted to give you some real data to talk about. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So hang on. We'll be right back in just a second. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's Jeff and Ron here again. Hey, Ron, how you doing, bud?
Good morning. Never a dull day, as we like to say. Plenty of news between the hurricane, as you were talking about, and everything that's going on in the market, and obviously what's coming up here in November.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got 27 days to the election. We've got another Fed rate cut maybe happening in the future here. We don't know what that's going to look like. Inflation numbers were today. So everything is just a little, I just say it's at this point, but the market keeps creeping its way up, climbing a wall of worry.
Again, all the core economic indicators are heading down other than inflation, and the market, we're at all-time highs, basically.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
quite the conundrum and quite scary at the same time, too.
The answer when I get asked is we keep working. we keep working with what we have, which is the market's climbing the wall of worry at this point. That's all I can tell you, and we'll go from there.
Agree.
Well,
What do you got for us?
Let's kick off with the best business names. I'm going to do this in a David Letterman countdown mode.
There we
here.
go.
All right. So, best business names. Number 9, going Postal.
They sell
For
guns?
most of us who grew up in the 1980s, this means a lot. Going Postal. That's the name of their business. Love it. All right. Number 8, Salmonella's Chicken Palace. So I'm not sure if I really want to show up to this place called Salmonella's, and I love it. The Chicken Palace plus pizza and subs and everything else. I originally typed it as Salmonella's Pizza and Subs, and then I looked down and saw Chicken Palace there, so I had to go back and pull it up. So I don't know if I can stomach Salmonella's. Jitter's Coffee Shop, probably the most straightforward name to use.
Actually, I like that.
I thought it was great. It's just
that's like naming a comedy club Chuckles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Laffos or something. Number 6, Passmore Gas and Propane. It's just an unfortunate place to be located in the town of Passmore and own the gas company that's there. But
I went to high school with a guy with that last name. I really didn't associate all that together.
Well, if you put the two together, once again, these are the unfortunate names. There'll be another additional unfortunate name coming down the road here.
Just out of curiosity, is that in the same town as the B&M Baked Beans?
I think so. Yes, okay. It is. It's right next to B&M Baked Beans at Passmore Gas.
That's very nice.
Am I Gone Funeral Home? Perfectly. One, I would say, I hope you are, if you're there. Am I Gone? I think perfect name. This is a fortunate business name when it comes to funeral.
Yeah, and I heard working there is a real dead end job. So
it really is a dead end job. Goes along with how many people are dead in the cemetery. Hopefully all of them. All right. Here's a tobacco and beer place called Chewin' Butts. It looks like it's out west. It's Chewin' Butts discount tobacco and beer. Number 3, the most creative name on this whole thing, Tequila Mockingbird. I don't know what they do. I am assuming
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Awesome. I think it is the greatest name. It's the most creative one on this whole list. Number 2, the most unfortunate name, because this person didn't
that's bad.
Have control over this, because this is his name, Stubbs Prosthetics and Orthotics. May have thought to go into a different business than this, hey, whatever.
Listen, when he was born, he was probably ordained to go in that business.
It pretty much was, and it may be a family business for many years. And number one, STD contractors. Now, this is not unfortunate. It is not creative. This is just a stupid name.
Hey, listen, the three owners could have been Steve, Tom, and Dave. We don't know.
It very well could be. And nobody thought to put all that together as one word or maybe switch it around a little bit, but they are the STD contractors.
Very nice. Very nice. Good
Wow.
list.
So
List.
Milton and Helene go away. It's interesting to see the response between the two. I know the North Carolina governor is getting a lot of flack um, for all this stuff going on, and it is a horrible thing. Don't get me wrong. I come from Western North Carolina, so I know what the territory is like there, and you just don't expect a hurricane to come and park on top of you in that territory. You've got a lot of rural population in the area that it hit, and it is horrible. And yes, the the governor kind of got caught flat. FEMA really monkeyed this thing up bad, mainly because they're trying to deal with multiple hurricanes and all kinds of stuff all over the country. Not defending them by any way, shape, or form, but that was a real weird one. Helene just cutting up the middle. You see the opposite. Florida was really prepared for Milton. They just had Helene whipped through a few weeks ago, but you just see that places that are used to this, they can get ahead of the game so much. They really were prepared, and I think they'll be able to get Florida back on track. North Carolina, Western Kentucky or Eastern Kentucky, Tennessee, it's going to be a while before they get back up and running because there's just not a lot of stuff to go there and fix the problem. I think what I see out of this, every time I see this, then I start to hear the politicians and people, oh, this is the worst hurricane season we've seen ever and all that. And I'm a data guy. Most of you that watch this, I am a big data guy. I need data and I need to
Yeah.
understand things. So I just actually Google search history of hurricanes. And I actually came up with this from the National Hurricane Center. And what it does is it breaks down by decade how many hurricanes we had total, how many major hurricanes we've had. And what I've heard so much is, oh my God, since 2000, it's been worse than anything. It really hasn't. If you look back in history, the 1870s through really the beginning of the 1920s, and even into the 40s and 50s, we had more hurricanes then. And the decade 41 to 50 during World War II, of course, we were fighting a war. So really, people didn't really think about this. But 10 major hurricanes during that decade. When we look at our most recent decade, we've had 4 major hurricanes. And really, for the last many years, we've had not as many hurricanes. And, I watched a show, I think it was a few years back. It was something talking about hurricanes, and they were making the point that we had a big period of time where we had major hurricanes, and then we started to not see as many for a while. And what has happened is, and this is what happened with Storm Sandy, is for years people have been building closer and closer and closer because we didn't have these major hurricanes.
Right.
And now, as they're picking up again, boom, these places are getting destroyed that are built literally right on the sand. If you looked at this back in the 50s, you didn't have all these major hotels, you didn't have houses and all that were literally built right on the water at that point.
I was looking that the most expensive hurricanes and storms, and they said Katrina, I think that was in '05,
Hands
was the
down.
most
Yeah.
expensive.
Hands
Yeah.
down, the most expensive because that thing, it was partly the hurricane, but it was also partly, it was a major part was the infrastructure, which was so behind the times. And that was a combination of both the leadership in New Orleans and a failure of the Army Corps of Engineers to really keep up the machinery of that. And that the reason it was so extensive was the bursting of the levees and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily the hurricane, the winds and all that. It was the water afterwards. In the most recent few years, we've had Ian and Ida. So about one of these big things per year. This year we've had a couple in 1 year, so I think they're going to be big. Going back in time, the another biggie was of course 2012 Sandy on the East
Yeah, that
Coast.
was up by me when I was in
Yeah.
Jersey. That was brutal.
Yeah, and like I said, I think a lot of it is people got complacent and kept building closer and closer. And you go to some of these places, and because you live there, you go to some of these places, and literally their house is built where part of the day water is lapping up underneath the house. Any form of storm surge is going to wash that out even worse.
And I remember Andrew. I had,
Yeah,
friends that were in South Florida, and I remember I think went through Miami University, went through all that area, and
yeah.
just leveled communities.
And for me, growing up in North Carolina and then going back, and when I was doing my internship in college with my national fraternity, that's right when Hugo had hit. And I
Ah,
remember I came back after Hugo and did my internship. And I remember Charlotte, which is way inland. Charlotte, literally all the pine trees were just flat in there. And then, one of the guys that I met during that trip was the dean of the College of Charleston, and we stayed at his house, and he was like, "Yeah, when Hugo hit, my house was like 5 feet to the right of here at that point because it got completely lifted off of its foundation and moved." And this was probably a 4,000 square foot house that just got moved around by the water. These things are bad, and I'm not meaning to downplay any of this, but the reality is, yes, it's costly because stuff costs a lot more now to
yeah.
rebuild.
Just materials
Yeah,
alone.
materials and finding the labor to go in
Sure.
and fix these things.
I think you'll
Yes,
always find the labor, it's the materials that are the tough part.
that's exactly right. But the problem is when these type of things happen, it's finding the labor that knows what they're doing. But you can find labor that's just complete garbage that's out there, and then getting the materials in and everything else. That's what's costing so much, but it's eh, stop. Yeah. What I would say is stop listening to all the pundits who are talking about, oh, it's different now and things have changed. Ron and I know from being in the financial industry, every time we hear, oh, it's different or it's the same or it's different now, it usually is neither at that point. So
Or
that's
it may
my
be
little
different, but it's similar.
it's similar. Yeah. So once again, I take a look at this stuff and I like to look at data. And the data tells me that it's not necessarily any worse. It's just some of these are a lot more expensive. And we hadn't experienced big hurricanes for a while. But in the past, experienced a heck of a lot of them. And there was not as robust of an insurance industry back then to come in.
Now, and the worst thing I've got to deal with here is monsoon season in the
Yeah.
August, September
Yeah.
timeframe,
I
which
was going to say,
is
and the
bad, but
100
certainly
degrees.
not what they're experiencing in the Gulf.
Yeah, now the nonstop 100 degrees for several months, but yeah, it's just you know what you're getting where you're at that point. Like I said, once again, we're there for all you guys. I made some donations here to the relief efforts there because I just believe that we've got to help them as much as we can. And that gets volunteers and faith-based organizations and everybody else in there to help out because the government can't do everything and they typically don't do it very well when they do. That's all I had for today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please share this with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will be back with you the very next time.